today I want to talk with you about three crucial things, which I think bothers like everybody, and everybody asks the same question like every day. So today we're going to talk about the value, returns, and crypto economy. Prior to that, I want to share my personal experience. So question to you guys, have you ever been hacked, like with credit cards or Facebook or Gmails? Thank you. Okay, so in October last year, my personal phone number was stolen. My 5 Gmail accounts were hacked. My Facebook account was hacked. My domain name, like personal one, not company one, was also compromised. Several attempts to hack my crypto exchanges accounts and steal my bitcoins and like everything. And basically, why I'm telling you about that? Imagine that if I would be using, instead of iOS, I would be using like Status Network or IOTA for my phone or Civic for preventing identity theft, or maybe cloud storage services like Storj or Coin. So all these tokens, I mean, I have all these tokens, so like disclaimer, but I'm just saying that all these tokens, they have some utility. And that's basically what our fund does. We're looking for the tokens which have one purpose. So we are not, even we focus on multiplying bitcoins. We have screened 1,500 of tokens, and we have selected only 50 tokens, like among all these scams, which possibly can be next Google or Facebook or have this feature. So if slightly moving to the what these tokens represent, go ahead. Nope. Yep. So everybody says that eventually Ethereum gonna acquire or like replace Bitcoin. I think it's a BS. Like the reason is because Ethereum right now is kind of the same as S&P 500. It represents the index of the all platforms, all companies, which you see like same like what we see on the Nasdaq or whatever. So from my perspective, I feel like we comparing the S&P 500 with Forex, which is kind of illogical, right? So if you move to basically the slide about value, oh, by the way, everybody knows about pictures, and it's like, I would say it's irrelevant, but nobody gives you a solution how to actually measure the value of Bitcoin. So question to you, how much do you think Bitcoin should cost, like the value? Just assumptions, like 1, 2, 3 millions, like what is the value of Bitcoin?
What's the value?
What's the value, yeah.
Internal value.
Internal value, yeah, I mean, or public value, like whatever, just like.
Today.
Value, yeah, like it's gonna cost, so we have right now the price, how much, like 11,000? Like what do you think, should it cost like 50,000 or should it be like 1 million or?
Easy 50,000.
50,000, why?
Why? Because it's the confidence of the community that uses it.
So what's gonna happen when we're gonna have like everybody gonna use it?
It'll tank again.
Tank again, okay. Any other assumptions? I guess not. Okay, so it's not a solution, it's just an assumption, but still. So I'm surprised nobody made this before. So currently, what is the population of planet, or not population, what is the amount of money like we have in the Earth, like in our world economy? Around 83 trillion dollars, roughly. How many people live in all countries combined? It's going to be around 7.6 billion last month. Everybody knows how many bitcoins we have or will have. It's going to be roughly 21 million. Oh, sorry. 21 million. And basically, these amount of tokens, bitcoins, not tokens, will be divided on the same population as we see here. So it's like, again, assumption. So if you divide basically the amount of dollars we have right now on the markets, each person, like distribution of wealth, each person is supposed to have like 10,900, like $21, like roughly. If you divide the same, I'm going to do here, it's going to be like 0.028 Bitcoins, whatever. So each person who lives, like as of today, like all population of the planet Earth, has to have the equal amount of the Bitcoins. If you divide this amount, like if you make calculations like 1 divided on like 28, you're gonna get like 357 equal parts. Like if you multiply this number on like what we have right now with dollar equivalent, you're gonna get 3.00, and I mean it has some decimals, but assuming 0.0. So it's gonna have, that's the price of Bitcoin, which possibly can be in terms of the usage. We neglect the costs for mining it. We neglect the basically what are you gonna spend on keeping these tokens or like on cybersecurity. So just in terms of the usage, and like in 5, 10, 15 years, that's basically the price. What is kind of logical. I mean, maybe it's looks like crap, but still, if you make these small calculations, you're gonna see that probably in the Bitcoins you have right now gonna cost like almost 4 millions, which is a lot. Slightly moving to the returns. What it tells like about, if speaking about returns. So right now we have a lot of new crypto funds, and I mean you've probably seen this chart before. As on January 2018, we have around 130 funds. Impressive, but how many of these funds present their returns in Bitcoins or like in Ethereum? Or most of these funds, they show the either percentage, which is obviously logical, but none of them show the returns in like we accumulated, we increased the amount of tokens. We increased the amount of the coins we have on cold storage. They usually show the USD or Euro or British Pound returns, which is kind of weird because if you work on this space and you're trying to be one of the cool cryptocurrency hedge funds and you believe in blockchain revolution, you believe that something gonna change, you should show like we made in Q1, Q2, Q3, like combined, I don't know, 2,000 Bitcoins in comparison with last year. So here's the catch why, I mean, why is this actually hodl? Yep. So even if you're 15 years old guy, like teenager or whatever, like you're working as a postman or you work in a barbershop, you can do just the same strategy, just hold your coins and you're gonna be rich. You don't have to make any moves, any actions. But the main thing, like when you're speaking about like hedge fund managers with 10, 15 years experience, is to multiply your coins with in the trades when you trade crypto to crypto. So neglect fiat currencies at all. If you check all charts like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ethereum to IOTA, whatever, you're not gonna see these slams. I mean, you still see like kind of growth, but it doesn't have such a huge volatility as you would compare it to the US dollar or like Euro or British Pound again. So what happens is if you accumulate these tokens and you're gonna ask yourself, so okay, I have a lot of tokens, but looks like they don't have any tangible assets as other companies from NASDAQ have. So technically it shows like we see the bubble here, right? So none of these companies or like even Bitcoin have some value, at least as of today. Why you should still accumulate tokens when you anticipate bubble burst? Each economy, and I'm pretty sure that here is everybody is familiar with economic terms, and like that each economy has like at least 7 different cycles. At least we understand it like that. Each bubble, like California, each crisis, like California crisis with railroads, junk bonds, Great Depression before that, cancellation golden standard, or .com, or even mortgage crisis. Each time we had kind of the same like bubbles, we had the economic growth, and that's what makes us to feel that this space is like attractive. So if you're gonna compare like crypto exchanges, the 24-hour volume, and it's probably lower right now, it has like, if you do not compare it with stock markets or commodities markets or like even FX, it looks impressive, I would say. I mean, considering the fact that how long this industry exists. But if you do the same with Forex, it's like nothing. So we have still a lot of potential of, I don't know, for your Bitcoins, for the tokens you have on your accounts or wallets, whatever. Slightly moving, so what our fund does and why we think that we should be the guys, like our team should be the right team who can guide you through the risks of bubbles, of tokens. So today, as I mentioned, we have screened 1,500 tokens, and only 50 tokens satisfied our requirements or criteria. And I'm not talking only about like product, usability, scalability, the team, the jurisdiction. Like you basically consider like everything with like this calculation a little bit, and a lot of these tokens which we picked, we use it on a daily basis already. So how many of, I mean, yesterday Julian was talking about how many of you guys use tokens like Ethereum, you pay salaries or you pay for designers. We actually do that. I mean, we don't pay any salaries to our team with USD currency, which is, I bet somebody is doing the same with in the US, like among crypto funds. And we do that. Same about like, hopefully in a Q2 we're gonna have the Civic for using it, preventing identity theft again, like my personal one. But yeah, basically, first bullet, we have deep analytical research. The second one, we're trying to educate our investors in a way that you can think as an expert, as a hedge fund manager, but at the same time, you stay with us. So you're basically on the same page with us, and that's what makes kind of trust and helps us to build long-term relations. And when you invest in a hedge fund, you should think about how long I'm going to be with these guys. Like, can I trust them? Can I trust their team? Like, do they have experience? And most of the funds, they have either experience in blockchain space or like in finance. We were trading, I was personally trading Forex markets, stock markets, and honestly, I lost money like 3 times in Forex markets. So I have like even better experience. But when you have like experience on trading on multiple markets, you understand where bubble is going to be, how to measure the value, and how basically to articulate the products, not like structured products, but simple investing in crypto funds and trust the team as well. Thank you.